Caution. Entertainment Banter uses potty language that most Sunday school teachers would not approve of. Viewer discretion is advised.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Entertainment Banter. My name is Joel.
And I'm Matt.
It's lovely today, isn't it, Matt?
It's a wonderful day, isn't it, Joel?
I don't know. Just trying out this new mic really quick.
Joel's got a new mic, so
it's a travel mic. It's a
travel mic. Travel. It's back on the road, folks. Back on the road.
Right.
His wife kicked him out.
I just want to make sure it picks up every nuance in my voice.
You can hear him scratch himself in all places.
Like the nose?
Sure.
Okay. Fair enough.
Hey, Joel, I know we got to talk about something today, but for 2 seconds, can you just...
I'm humoring you, yes.
We're talking off pod. You just saw Fast and Furious 9. What'd you think of it?
Oh, God. We're not talking about this.
We're not talking about it today, but I just
okay.
You came up with the title for 10, so I thought it was pretty interesting.
It wasn't the first time I heard it, and I'm sure it's already out there. It's not made up by me, but if Universal doesn't name the next Fast and the Furious movie this, then it's a missed moment, and someone should be fired, if not all of them. It should be called Fast 10, Your Seatbelts.
Fast 10, Your Seatbelts. So dumb.
And if you saw Fast 9, you know damn well there will be another one because of the post-credit scene. By the way, can I just mention how Jason Statham got almost top billing on IMDb for Fast 9? Like, he's one of the first names that pop up.
Really?
Yeah, I believe so. If I looked up, or it did in the past before the movie came out.
That's hilarious.
And he's literally only in the post-credit scene.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow, that's funny.
That means all like Ludacris, or no? Is it who's in that movie?
I mean, I know of these. I've watched a couple of these, but I don't know all the characters and all the
right
ins and outs.
Okay, so he's not top bill anymore. Okay, I'm just looking it up now. I mean, Kurt Russell is on there, and he's literally in the movie. Well,
he
plays.
In there?
Yeah, he's in the last three of them.
Kurt Russell is?
He's Mr. Nobody.
Oh my God, that's hilarious! I didn't know that.
It's ridiculous, but yeah, he's. Oh, Jason Statham fell back. I remember when the movie before it released, it had his name on it.
So,
probably to intrigue people, but he's not even on the list anymore, which is interesting. He definitely was before.
Joel,
we are not talking about this today.
No, I know, but now I gotta say, I'm curious. Like,
oh my God,
the MCU, right? The first, whatever you call it, the first 10 years. Like, how many movies were there?
What do you mean, like Phase 1?
Yeah, or like from the last 4, you know what I mean, like the Endgame, whatever, up until Endgame or whatever. We could even include Captain Marvel and all that stuff in it. How many movies of Marvel?
Tony says it in Endgame, like he says a certain amount of days he's in space, and that actually relates to how many movies there are. I think it's 22 or 21.
Okay, so because we have the MCU, right? So Fast and Furious would be the FFU, the FU, the FU.
The Fast Universe.
The FU Universe.
The FU Universe. I was wondering where you were going to go with this.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, like, they're on, 10, right? Almost 9. 9 to be 10.
There are 10 movies. No one counts Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that,
because
too.
Remember, Vin Diesel had a pissing match with The Rock. So
Jason
then...
Stamos, or?
No, with The Rock.
Okay.
Dwayne Johnson, that's his name. Jason Stamos. Jason, whatever his name is now, I can't even say his name now since you just say Stamos.
I know, I screwed it up. You're welcome.
Jason Statham.
What happens when you have a drink or two?
And so The Rock, Dwayne wanted to do his own version because Dwayne and Vin Diesel, of course, head-butted a lot during the making of the next movies and all that.
Which one has the cuter balded head?
Whatever. And they wanted to have their own take on the script, but Vin Diesel's been around longer, so technically it should have been Vin Diesel's baby, but The Rock pushed his way through, and I'm sure The Rock had better ideas, and The Rock's a better actor, and The Rock's
let's be real here.
He's better at all around.
More charismatic.
He's all around a better person.
He's the perfect package.
He actually has a personality. and he cares more about than just family.
Right.
Matt, we're family.
We're family.
So
because he
made his own movie with Jason Statham, and they have really good what is it, chemistry? I was gonna say romanticism, but it's chemistry.
Take your pick. You can.
They have great chemistry. So the movie is actually pretty good. It's probably one of the best in the franchise, to be honest.
Gotcha.
But I don't think The Rock's coming back, and now John Cena now is the new person.
Oh, really? He's in this now?
Well, yeah,
his career's taking off right now.
He plays Vin Diesel's brother.
What?
It's okay, Matt. It's ridiculous.
He's been doing a lot of movies now too. You know, it's kind of weird, but whatever. He's okay.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Like he's in a new comedy, right? Like he's in a new comedy. I think it's a Netflix original,
and he was also in the new Suicide Squad too, and everything.
Yeah,
he's there. That's all I can say. He's there, and
I don't hate his performance in some stuff, but
it's forgettable.
Well, I think the thing is like somehow The Rock personality is more appealing. I don't know how to describe it than his. Like I feel like The Rock has the people that watch The Rock, yeah, he's jacked, he's badass and strong, but it's not why we watch him. I feel like with what's his face, it's the other way around. It's like it's more about Cena. John Cena is more about like I'm just being strong. Like I'm good because I'm strong. Like, but there's no personality there. I mean, there could be sometimes, but it's hard to. He hasn't finessed it enough to be likable. Like he's likable, but it's like from a safe distance likable. Does that make sense?
Sure. Well, from my experience,
if The Rock came up to give me a hug, he might crush me to death. But I'll.
You're gonna let him. You're gonna let him.
Yeah, I'm gonna let him. But this guy, I'm just like, are you gonna like do this painfully and quickly? Or are you gonna slow? I mean, like, how are you gonna kill me? Like, that's,
well, you wouldn't know what's happening because remember,
right,
you can't see him. You can't.
Or
see
like
him.
He goes to hug me and he accidentally kills me, like the Frankenstein monster, the little kid. You know what I mean?
His stupid fame comes like he's like, I'm John Cena. You can't see me. So the joke is always like, who's on screen right now? You know, like. I didn't know Vin Diesel's doing the scene by himself, but it's like John Cena's in it. It's just so stupid.
All right, well, I'm sorry.
John Cena's life is a meme. It's a meme. Like that's how his fame came from. It's a meme. He's a meme.
Fair enough. I feel
I'll
sorry
say meme
that
one more time.
I brought this up because we probably not only have 10 minutes to talk about what we should be talking about.
Well, now you got me on this. The Rock did his movie and he went on his way. I just wanted to point out too that
the Hobbs thing, you mean?
The Rock and Vin Diesel had to count their punches in these movies too. One of them, they had to have more than the other. Apparently, they had this dick swinging contest during the movies they made together, and they had to count all the punches. And someone online on YouTube, I think it's like Film Junkies or something like that, Screen Junkies, that does those honest trailers. This is not a plug for them.
Not a plug.
Not a plug, but they are funny, and I believe they counted all the punches between Dwayne and Vin Diesel, apart from all their movies. I bet you.
You mean all their movies, not just
possibly?
The Fast and
I'm not 100% sure. I only saw a quick advertisement for it, but. Come on, The Rock's just a better person. Just remember The Rock too. The reason why we like watching The Rock. Look up lip syncs. Dwayne The Rock Johnson lip syncs. He does Taylor Swift's, or he calls it Tay Tay.
Yes,
and he does.
So long.
Oh my God, it is so good. He's good. Like you said, it's charismatic. It's not just because he's big and his arms bigger than my freaking whole body. He's a funny guy.
He's got humor for sure.
I'm glad Disney gave him a start on like Witch Island or whatever it was, like Witch Mountain or whatever that movie was. Yeah.
Well, and he did the game plan with Disney as well, and obviously Moana.
He did.
I don't know if he
did quite a few.
Jungle Cruise,
where he got screwed by Disney Plus as well. So hopefully that.
Well, I mean,
itself.
whatever. Okay, we got. You're actually bringing it perfectly back because I wanted to talk about that.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Disney Plus, Black Widow. We're talking.
You're
about
welcome.
Black Widow.
You're welcome. Thank you. And we brought it back.
So today's subject is Black Widow. In case you didn't know, I finally saw it. I did not pay.
10 minutes in.
I did not yet 10 minutes into our pod. I did not go to the theater to see it. I did not do premiere access. I did, however, purchase a hard copy of Blu-ray disc. So I did watch it that way. Even though I have Disney
That's how
Plus,
you watched it,
waited.
Really? Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. I thought it was on Disney Plus already for free. It's not yet.
No, I mean if it is, I don't care. I'm a stickler when it comes to certain things. I like to buy like the cinematic universe at this point.
Yeah,
I've bought all.
You want to own. You want to own.
I want to own it.
That's fair.
You know? And to her,
you could put them in order on your bookshelf.
Right. And like
you
all
can't
the
put that one in order because it goes between Civil War. So I don't know how you're gonna split it between that fucking DVD.
Spoiler! If you haven't seen it, who cares? Here's the thing, though. Like, right? No, like all the other people that support women, but then don't support them when they get screwed by Disney. I went and bought the Blu-ray.
That's fair. Yeah. No. Absolutely. I saw it in theaters because it was the girlfriend's first Marvel movie in theaters. No, I don't think they get any. They may. I mean, well, Robert Downey Jr. probably somehow gets cuts from all of it because he took that awesome deal that everybody wants, but no one else will get. But I took the girlfriend to see it in movies, and it was great to see a Marvel movie back in theaters. To be honest,
in the theater, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, heaven forbid! You mean like people want to escape their shitty lives
But I would have been fine. Escape. It was a movie that I would have been fine watching it a year before when it should have been released on Disney Plus. I would have been fine with that as well.
Well, here's the thing. Getting back to it's like a subconscious thing. Like,
what's the thing, Matt? Where's the
Black
thing?
Widow, right? In my opinion, she's the last. She's the last Avenger. So, but from what I would say my generation.
How it falls into the timeline, even though she's part of Phase Feige, whatever it's called.
4, I guess.
5.
Now.
I think it's 5 now. I don't know, but she's still technically
the TV
part
shows
of. She's still part
muddy.
of. She's part of the original phase where Civil War and Avengers are because her movie lays in that.
Right.
Which is neat. I mean, if you go on Disney Plus right now, it even though you have to get premiere access to watch it, it puts everything in cinematic order, which is great. You can watch Captain America, Captain Marvel, and then Iron Man, and it goes on from there. It's fantastic how they do that. And then they have, after Civil War, they popped in Black Widow, which is great because technically Black Widow takes place during
it's not
during
cinematic.
The movie.
So you're saying it's not in the chronological order of it released; it's in the chronological order of how it should be.
That's a bonus on Disney Plus. Actually, it's kind of this is one thing I appreciate about them because I've had so many friends ask me, "What order should I watch these movies in?" And I'm like, "Well, this is the order they were released in."
Right.
But then they're like, "Well, no, but I hear that you can watch Captain Marvel earlier." And I'm like, "You absolutely can. It falls here." So what Disney did on Disney Plus is what they you can go on there, you can watch it in release date order, or you can release it in chronological order.
Well, that's good. So I like the release order because, like, I'll just give you an example. Captain Marvel, right? When Fury disappears, you're gonna be questioning the next 20 films. Like, why the hell did he disappear? He's back in this next one.
Post-credit scenes are definitely not.
They'll mess it up.
They are not placed well for chronological order, but release order they are, and I feel like you're right on that. I
so
agree.
Just don't watch the post credits.
And it's just like you can watch Black Panther earlier than most, but it's not a cool reveal when you watch Civil War.
Yeah, you got to watch it as it was released. I feel theatrically speaking, that's my personal
right.
Take on
no,
it.
I personally agree with you too. But after you watch it that way, which we have been going back and watching it in chronological order, it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah. So let's talk about the movie because obviously there's been a lot of controversy. I don't even want to talk about the controversy. I just want to talk about the movie. First of all, it took a long time for me to see it, but I'm kind of glad I waited,
For sure.
But, I was waiting for you to, like, make your comments to me privately, like, oh, so where's the scene where it's, like, all the man-hating and all this other stuff? And
it's the whole movie.
Thankfully. No. I mean, maybe you could argue that point, I guess, but for me, I was very grateful that that didn't come across to me. So it was very nice way to finish out my MCU.
The main character was a female. That's why.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, there was no male digging in throughout the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like, there was
no like, oh, you didn't get Iron Man to help you or. None of that shit.
Or some weird.
Where's your green boyfriend or some shit? Like, oh, I don't need his help. I'm better than that or some
comments like that, but it wasn't it wasn't obvious. It wasn't like, you know, it's obvious when like it doesn't fit the scene. Do you know what I'm saying? If you're talking about past boyfriends, and then the joke is made because she was interested in the Hulk or something, like, yeah, of course it makes sense, right?
Right.
There was nothing that stood out to me that was like insulting. You know what I mean? It was just another fun ride. So I was very grateful for that. Jumping way ahead to philosophy towards the end.
Sure.
And then I'll shut up and let you talk. I thought it was an interesting parallel. I mean, you want to get dark for a second. You know, Hollywood has been known to be involved in all kinds of child abuse, let's just say, sometimes sexual, in a lot of aspects. And I thought what was interesting about this movie was Black Widow, in a lot of ways, the metaphor of this man taking these women, these girls, like, human trafficking, as it were, that kind of theme, and taking them across and doing what they will with them. I thought it was very interesting that I don't know if the movie was intentionally meant. I mean, obviously, I know the story existed long before any of this was really a thing in the news, but the idea of human trafficking, it came to my mind. Like, I don't know if it was a modern statement on human trafficking or not, but I thought it was interesting parallels to it, just because they're taking, like I said, these poor girls. When I say poor girls, I mean literally like destitute girls, street rats, like Latin kind of stuff, and taking them away and converting them into these weapons.
Assassins.
I just thought it was interesting. I'm a big sucker for family films, and I thought this. No, I'm serious. Like, one of my favorite movies is completely cartoony and stupid, but I just, every time I watch it, I get choked up like a dumb, stupid schoolgirl. Is Speed Racer, and I feel like this Black Widow film was very family oriented. Even though they weren't a real family, it was a forced family unit, and I thought, to me, that made it more special, more interesting, and more tragic. I don't know what you think about it, but I liked the story. I like it when we get to see the personal sides of our heroes. You know what I mean? Our characters.
Right.
It doesn't matter what they're doing. It's the emotional roller coaster that we're going on with these characters.
This may not be the first time I will say this, but a wise young sister of mine once told me, we need to start separating the movie cinematic universe from the comic lore. Even though a lot of the liberties are being taken from the lore of the comics, but it's still its own thing now. We got to remember now there are 20 plus movies of this, so now they have their own lore, which is great. Just like how the Marvel opening used to be the comics, but now it's literally the movies, which is so much material. There is so much material now. They have all the TV shows. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. And I say that because in the comics, the Red Guardian is his name.
The one that played
the Russian Captain America. Yeah, in the comics, he dated Natasha. They were boyfriend. Okay. So, and he was a lot younger. So it's just interesting how they evolved. That was the earlier comics. I don't know what happened in the later comics.
Well, we've talked about that too, though, where there's so much in the comics that if you're gonna touch on something, you make many sacrifices. It's better to get them in than to not get them in at all, because otherwise the story doesn't work. You know what I mean? It
involves the universe more, in a sense, because they're involving these little details, which is great. Which brings me to changing Taskmaster into a female from an Anthony.
I was wondering if you're going to bring that up.
Antoinette. Well, I wanted to bring up too. I was going to ask you. So this movie takes place near the end of Civil War, where Natasha disappears, and then she comes back and rescues them all from the prison. Their superhero prison.
I was going to ask you: is she the one that does it, or because Clint's
They all do.
Right?
They all do it. It's the one, whoever not in there. I think Captain America and Natasha do it. Okay. So in this Black Widow movie, you see what happens between that small time frame where she disappears in the movie and reappears in the post-credit scene and rescues them all. So it sets that up, which is great. So she does that, and I love that aspect of it all and everything. And I just brain farted.
That's okay. Well, while you're farting, I'll say something. The one thing that I find annoying, and I know this is the future, so I'm fighting it. I can't.
I just remembered.
Okay, you go. I'll fart later. Go ahead.
So you get that whole sense of there, so you understand that, but also in Black Widow, you get the new story of her, somewhat of her past. I thought the movie was going to be more totally on her past. It was going to be a totally before she met the Avengers, and I was looking forward to that, and I wanted to see that lore, but they do touch on a little bit, like, so you saw the first Avenger movie, and Clint and Natasha talk about Budapest.
Yeah.
Now, do you feel like now when you go back, now I'm going to go watch that movie again, and now when they talk about Budapest, now we get to see that scene of why she doesn't want to talk about Budapest. Even though they make it a joke in Avengers, like, oh, we don't talk about Budapest. Kind of like we don't talk about Vegas. So everyone took that as a joke, but now there's context to it. Do you think that ruins that a little bit now? Because, like, when you talk about Budapest...
No, actually,
because she thought she killed...
Right.
And in a sense, Taskmaster, who becomes Taskmaster. Spoiler alert. Blah.
Well, you get inside. You get the inside joke now is what it is.
Right, but it's not really. It's kind of sad, and it made Natasha second guess a lot of things ever since then. Know that.
Right, but she was able to redeem herself, even though you don't talk about it. They redeemed themselves. You know what I mean?
Right.
No, I get it, because you're talking about she thought she killed the daughter. Is that what you're saying?
The daughter, to get the guy who created her, and in the end. We learned that she's a total failure, and she didn't get either of them.
Right. Well, but she gets them, obvious this movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's too bad, because honestly, I would have loved, if they were smart, they could have maybe done 2 of these. I don't know if she would have wanted to do 2, but maybe she's tired of the whole Avengers aspect as well.
She's in a lot. She's in 8, 9 of the movies right now.
Yeah, but I mean, she may want to just retire too, and spend her money on producing the rest of her life. But it would have been cool to see one more before this. Her and Clint in Budapest.
Yeah, no, I thought cool. I thought we were gonna get more of that. It was
unless that's a TV show, because we're gonna have a Hawkeye show.
Overall, it was a fun ride. It was a great movie. I enjoyed it. It was like nonstop action. We now see that we have set up for a new Black Widow or a White Widow, or what you want to call her, because she wears white clothes. And then we also have set up where Taskmaster, and I was going to say about Taskmaster, as they made the character as is, Taskmaster to me is a PG-13 Deadpool.
Right.
Who can mimic all their moves. And I have no issues on how he mimics the moves, because it's either by downloading it or watching it through your eyes, and he learns. I feel like that doesn't change the character to me, who he is. What changes it is that it was a male to female. I mean, that may not change either, to be honest, as I'm talking about it as we speak. But how they made him, now the widows took her in, I guess, at the end.
Yeah.
So that will change the missionary, the mercenary aspect of that character.
Right.
So maybe they all become mercenaries, and she becomes the leader. Who knows? But right now, I feel like it's a throwaway character, but they absolutely can do something really cool with it.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Well, that brings me to what my fart was going to be a while back. So getting back to the whole I can't fight the future of the system, blah, blah, blah. The only thing that bothers me, honestly, about these movies from here on out is the fact that every time I'm watching them, and this is across the board, Star Wars, Marvel, soon to be Indiana Jones, the thing that sucks with Disney now is their movies are not the same anymore, meaning their setups for TV shows. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not the other way around anymore, where it's TV shows might lead up to a really epic movie. It's reversed now, where it's all the movies set up TV shows. I mean, talking about the Black Widows that were rescued, even the Taskmaster you're referring to, I see them in a Disney Plus show. It's going to be a new Disney Plus show. They know that the characters are not that great.
Absolutely.
But they're great enough for a TV show.
Absolutely.
And they're going to do it with Indiana Jones too. And I just find it so annoying that, I don't want to go to the movies just so you can set up a TV show. I want a real movie, beginning, middle, and ending, and I feel like that's not what's driving these movies anymore. It's like, okay, how can we introduce something for a TV show? Okay, we could add this person in the movie so it could be later in the TV show. And
I think you're not wrong on that, to be honest. It is. Well, think about it. They're taking all these D, C, F, G characters or whatever
H-I-J-K,
they are.
P?
Whatever.
Yeah.
And they're taking all these characters and they're making TV shows out of them because they probably won't do as well as a blockbuster movie, but they can lead into it. And like I was trying to explain to you, remember when we were talking about the other WandaVision,
Right.
Falcon the Winter Soldier, and Loki, you're diving into, I guess, co-star characters in these movies that we never really dove into their psyche. So when you got Wanda and Vision, yeah, they were in the Avenger movies, but we didn't really get to know them. We got to know them more in WandaVision.
And we still didn't.
Anyways, Captain Winter Soldier, we knew Bucky and Falcon were in these movies, but we really didn't dive into their psyche. We did in this TV show. Yeah. And then Loki, we know he's Thor's brother, but we really dove into who he really was. I mean, obviously there was a cheap little gimmick to have him caught up to being our Loki kind of thing, watching like all the deaths. It's like,
but you know what though, out of all the shows, I felt the Loki one at least had more growth. Like it was fun to go back and rewind a character, so to speak. Whereas with Loki, we got the villain Loki again, and by him, it was a quick rewind where he realizes he's never going to win, so he becomes the Loki we remembered at the end of the MCU. But he's not. When we get him, he's back to bad Loki.
Right.
We run
after he got caught. Loki. Right.
So
but then that TV show also introduced the next Avenger movie's villain, most likely Kang the Conqueror. He's going to be introduced more in the new Ant-Man movie. Yeah. He's going to be probably the main villain for the first Avenger movie that's going to lead into Galactus, which is going to lead into the Secret Wars. Blah, 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 blah. Those are the Avenger movies. But what I like to think about, like, the TV shows and movies, like you have a movie up here and then TV shows are down here. I guess you can't see this on the pod.
They get it. Up high, down low.
Up high, down low. But some of the movies now are coming lower and the TV shows are being brought up. So they're coming to par. So they're about equal. So I get what you're saying to make that happen. But certain movies, characters won't have that. You won't have Spider-Man TV show unless they make a Miles one. Who knows? And
I hope not.
And they run with a different Spider-Man as well. So there's two Spider-Man. I see more or less simultaneously seeing two different Spider-Man movies come out at the same time. You're gonna have the MCU one, and Sony's gonna do their version because this multiverse is opening that door.
That seems more logical. If they were smart, they would do that.
Right now, since this multiverse and whatever this movie does coming out with Spider-Man in December 17th or 12th or whatever day it is, it's going to change the Sony universe as well because that opens the door for Sony to go, well, we can start making Spider-Man movies again to how we want to because it's no longer a part of your universe. It doesn't matter anymore. And you already used one of our characters. So this may open more work for the Tobey or Andrew Garfield or both of them. Just like how Batman's going to do all their stupid multi-Batman movies too as well.
Yeah.
But Marvel's going to do it better, obviously, because Marvel is Marvel. I feel like they've always had a better touch to that.
Well, I think DC, I don't know, they might be trying to change the tables. Like their philosophy of like, oh, let's just make randomness may or may not. It might bite them in the butt. I don't know. Their comics are failing miserably right now. They're not doing well at all. Superman was in they're now making fun of people's choices, whether you're pro-vaccination or not vaccination. Wow. The most recent Superman comic. They're basically alluding to people's making bad decisions based on stuff like that. So, I mean, in my opinion, it's just comics have always been a venue for pushing the envelope, but I feel like in this situation, so many things have been agenda driven. It's just very hard to enjoy media these days, more so than ever before. But to get back to your point before we go, talking about the TV shows and the movies and the contrast, how one's going up, one's going down. I get things like Winter Soldier and Falcon, getting to know them better, and like their dynamic is unique because they were both Cap's friends from different eras, so to speak, and they finally got together on their own, and so it's like old versus new and coming together. The mutual bond was Cap. The thing is, though, like I still just don't feel like there's justification for shows for these characters, because to me it cheapens them. I feel like if they're gonna be the next big thing in Avengers movies, they just need to be in the Avengers movies. And I feel like those characters, if they make appearances like Sam Jackson did occasionally through the movies, then great. Like in the TV shows, fine. Like Sam Jackson made 1 or 2 appearances in S.H.I.E.L.D., Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., whatever. I always get excited when I see Sam Jackson in those. But I guess the thing is, though, like, think about, like, when you're watching Black Panther, right? And you get to meet some characters that are not the A-list characters of Black Panther. They're A-list characters maybe in Black Panther, but they're not in the Marvel Cinematic Universe until they start showing up more and more, right? Like some of the female characters or from Wakanda. Like when you get to see them in Black Panther, you're thinking like, okay, who is this? This small person, but they keep showing up again and again and again.
They're reoccurring
in the films. To me, that's more exciting because, like, oh yeah, I remember that character, or I remember this guy or that girl, like, like from these other films. But if you just throw them into a TV show, nonstop all the time, I feel it cheapens them. I know that sounds stupid, but that's what I feel like. I don't know.
Well, the ants to rebuttal that a little bit, I feel like like you said, you feel like the movies are now leading to TV shows, and I don't disagree with that. But what I want to say is, not only do you have TV movies leading to TV shows, the TV shows are now leading to the movies as well. It's going back and forth, which I find, to me, it doesn't cheapen it because they're not putting on ABC where there's a million commercials. Like when you watch, the girlfriend had me watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. again, and you just see the crappiness of it.
Oh yeah,
you really do.
Yeah.
But when you watch WandaVision, no matter if you don't like the story or if you watch Captain and Winter Soldier or Loki,
there's a higher quality for sure.
You see MCU quality big time. So to me, it's not cheapening it. What it is broadening material and just it took these movies and then it just makes it more encompassing because these TV shows are occurring simultaneously with some of the others because they're not all the characters. You're focusing on this one plot point. Yeah, some of the episodes may feel like they're being drawn out, WandaVision, but you're leading into bigger things. Like Loki just led into why the multiverse could be opening up. Simultaneously, we're gonna have to see something in this new Spider-Man movie that's gonna link the multiverse to all that. And even though Loki's event made it look like it all spanned out, Doctor Strange is gonna fuck shit up too. That's gonna not only did it just span out, Doctor Strange just started pulling people from those universes and screwed things up. So I mean, I think it's going to be very fascinating what they do. I'm unsure how WandaVision is going to fit in this. I'm sure a lot of people have fan theories and all that jazz. And of course, Sam's going to have his own movie. He is going to have his own Captain America movie before an Avenger movie. That's been not officially announced, but there's 4 unnamed titles, and Feige did say he's going to get a movie soon, so he's going to be one of those unnamed titles. They just haven't named it yet. But he's going to have his own movie as well. Then he's going to lead an Avengers team. So we'll go from there. My question is, though, are they going to get away from that Captain America has to lead an Avengers team? Because every Marvel character that has been an A-list, in a sense, has led the Avengers. Even though Spider-Man doesn't want to lead the Avengers in the original comics, he ends up doing it at least once. Then he gets made to be the leader of the Young Avengers, and they push that a lot on him. Even though he wants to be a solo act, he starts learning in that time period of the comics that team playing is needed and essential for most things. Then you also have other characters that have been in charge of the Avengers. Wolverine was in charge of the Avengers at some point. So are we going to start seeing shit like that? There is an unnamed Marvel movie that's coming out, and it seems like our X-Men movie that it may actually be Wolverine may be the first X-Men movie we get. Overall, just a Wolverine movie. Right. But we're going to see some new things coming up. I mean, the new Hawkeye TV show looks very Home Alone-esque if you watch the trailer. But it looks interesting. It looks like a fun ride. It looks too fun to be a serious show because it's going through the time during the snap when he went on an assassin rampage. That whole past caught up to him. That's what's happening in this TV show.
No, the whole past caught up to him, but it's after all the Avenger movies.
It's after the snap because he went after killing these people. The snap brought people back, part of those people he killed that weren't killed, and now they want revenge. Right. So I mean, it makes sense why the story's happening, but the people he went after, let's remember, were people what are they in Japan? The gang out there, the Yoka,
like Yakuza.
Yakuza, thank you, Yoka. Yeah. What the heck am I talking about? But that's also someone Wolverine had to deal with too. So we may see this may be an opportunity to introduce a mutant, but it's slowly going to start happening, especially since the occurrences in Loki and WandaVision. So.
Well, the cynic in me is like they're just all these TV shows are just setting up replacements. You know what I mean?
And it could absolutely could be fillers just so you get to the next movie. But you know what? At least they're doing these fillers.
I mean replacements for characters. Hawkeye's replacement, Cap's replacement.
I get it.
Vision's replacement.
But honestly, a lot of these actors want to get out, and this is a way to do it smoothly, and it adds more material, makes universe bigger, and even if it's a placeholder, at least it's a better placeholder than what Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They are to the end. Even WandaVision, all of it was. At least it was entertaining to me more than what Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was, because these people are in the universe. They are being used in the universe. You see them in the movies. You see them in the TV shows. You see them everywhere. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they brought Coulson back, and everyone's like, cool. Not a single effing Avenger knows or knew, or now it's not canon anymore, so it's null and void. Well, but now it's very frustrating.
They did do some villains. They did put some of the villains in from Hydra, but that's about it.
And they brought Ghost Rider and something into it. It became stupid. So
yeah, well, they admitted that it became stupid and that they lost all control over it.
Right, and that's why it became not canon anymore.
Yeah. So I mean, so I guess my final thought, Black Widow, because that's what we didn't talk about.
We absolutely did for at least 5 minutes.
For 5 minutes out of the whole pod. That's 35 minutes long. So here's the thing.
36. 37.
I enjoyed it. To me, it was like, thank God something ended on a high note for me. Like, to me, if I never saw another Avengers movie or Marvel movie, this was like the final, like, thank you, goodbye. It was like, if Rian Johnson had fucked up The Last Jedi so much, you know what I mean? Lately, I feel like every movie I go to see, I'm being told how terrible I am because of my skin color or because I have a penis or something. And it's just kind of nice to just be able to watch a movie, close out the deal. You know what I mean? End on a good note.
It's the skin color of your
fuzzy
penis.
Feeling inside. The same color, yes. Curtains match the drapes.
No, they don't.
Skin tone. So,
no, I hear what you're saying. Well, you have to go watch Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi.
Yes.
And you have to go watch
you're
that.
Butchering it, but yes.
No, watch the movie.
I will watch the same way I watch all the others.
It's another fun ride. There is a homage to Dragon Ball Z. You'll get it.
That's hilarious.
Little sister asked me, like, did you like what they did? I'm like, oh, I thought you were too young to know that at the time, but no.
That's funny.
Of course I caught that. Everyone will catch that if you watch Dragon Ball Z. Is that it? That's it. You should go watch Shang-Chi. Go watch it.
Okay, so is that your final comment?
Yeah, man, that's my final comment. Let's go watch Shang-Chi. Okay. It's the next Marvel movie, and then after that will be Spider-Man, and we already heard. Go back and listen to our Spider-Man predictions. I still stand by them 100%.
Yes, me too, 100%. Well, on that note, thank you for listening to Entertainment Banter. My name is Matt.
And my name is Joel. And I'm done. If you thought that was funny, go take out the trash for your mom and come back and watch the next one.